got a minute, I thought we could make the most of it. Real quick, drop your shoulders, loosen your stomach, relax your eyebrows, and drop the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Just for now. Now, I'm not sure what you just scrolled past, or what you're gonna scroll onto, or what you've just been through, or what you're about to go through, but what I do know for sure is that right now, as you and I sit here, everything is okay.
So this is one of my favorite TikTokers. I think you refer to him as the dreadful bird. Every time he scrolls on into my feed, I'm forced to take a second, take a breath, and relax. And I love the way he says that everything's gonna be okay. I really appreciate the both mental exercise of that, the most mental reminder, and also the physical reminders that our body and our mind are controlling us. And the decisions that we make, the things that we do, we're ruled by our emotions. We make decisions based off our emotions. There's been lots of studies both on marketing and on business that show that we don't make decisions based off of logic very often. Don't get me wrong, we'll use data, we'll use our context to inform how we make our decisions, but when we go to finally make the decision, to decide what to work on next, to decide how to move forward, to decide how we're gonna act in this next moment, it's an emotional one. It's an emotional response. I've learned over the last 12 years of running Crema how to do a lot of things. How to design apps, how to run a strategy session, how to have a business partner, how to hire employees and build up a team. I always come back to this common theme. And the reality is that I'm in the business of people. We just happen to build and design apps. And human beings, people are emotional creatures. And we want our teams to get more done. We want them to be more efficient. We want them to work better together. But working better together requires trust. And it's hard to know how to trust each other if we can't recognize how we're making decisions, how we're feeling in any given moment. There's a quote from Henry Ford that says that, why is it every time I ask for a pair of hands, a human brain comes with it? And I think the modern version of that statement is, why is it when I want to hire a brain, a heart comes with it? Leaders try to use a lot of things to both connect the head and the heart, to motivate people, to inspire people. They might use incentives, they might use a speech, or maybe they just disappear hoping that the team will figure it out. And I gotta be honest, I've used all of those tricks myself. But the reality is that we ignore the emotions that are driving our decisions. We ignore the feelings of the people around us. And we end up getting frustrated over time. My business partner and I used to joke about the fact that every 9 months or so, we would just kind of slowly build up to the point where we just needed to have a good fight, where we just needed to punch each other, and then we would hug it out and we'd be fine. But it was that buildup of lots of little things and lots of little moments and lots of emotions that finally would get to this moment of a blow up. And I know you've experienced something like that on your team. You didn't address something, you let it build up, and it got to the point where it finally blew up. But if we were checking in on those emotions more frequently, more often, maybe we wouldn't get to these blow up points. Maybe we would actually create some trust with each other and work well together. We found a really simple tool to help us do this on a very regular basis across all of our teams, and it's called the feelings wheel. The feelings wheel is over 100 different emotions describing lots of different words of how we might feel. And really all it is a tool to give us some words. I don't care if somebody picks a word that's not on the feelings wheel. The goal is to say, what are you feeling right now? For a lot of people, this might feel uncomfortable. They don't like talking about their emotions. But I would suggest if you lean into the discomfort just a little bit and actually challenge each other to say, this is how I'm feeling, you'll unlock this potential of being able to trust each other more and do great work together. Now, here's a few tips when you're using the feelings wheel. First off, ask, what are you feeling, instead of just like, how's it going? Give them a very specific task. Describe the word. Actually suggest that maybe they use more than one word, because oftentimes we're feeling more than one thing at any given time. Then, follow up with why, or what's making you feel that way. When I first used the feelings wheel with my one-on-ones and my direct reports, the team that I worked with most of the time, I asked, what are you feeling? And they said, I'm feeling anxious and I'm feeling excited. And what was interesting is they all said the exact same thing. Anxious and excited. Well, why are you feeling anxious? I asked. Well, I'm a little anxious because we've got some big goals. We've got some big things that we're trying to do. And I'm not exactly sure if we're capable of pulling those things off. Totally get it. I understand. Why are you excited then? Because we've committed to do this, and I think that if we pull it off, it'll be amazing. They were excited for the opportunity. And the fact that they all felt the same emotions was a bit of a surprise to me. But I've learned that just like anything else in life, we really pick up on the people that we're around the most. So we start sharing our emotions, we start sharing our feelings with each other. So if you have that one person in the group that's going through something and is not feeling great, that emotion will get shared with the team. And the last thing I'll say is don't use the feelings wheel once. Don't just do it once and go, well, that was uncomfortable, that was awkward, I don't want to do it again. I would suggest that it takes doing it at least 3 times. Lean in and say, I'm going to commit to do it at least 3 times with my team. Once they get to understand that you're going to ask it again, you're going to ask them what their feelings are again, they'll slowly start to be willing to open up a little bit more. If it doesn't work, scrap it. Don't use it anymore. I'm okay with that. If it does work, I hope you'll see how it unlocks the potential of your team. Now, I mentioned that my business partner and I would have that 9-month kind of like build up to punch it out. What we started doing instead was we said, let's meet every Friday. Let's just sit down and have a cup of coffee together. And as we met every Friday, we were able to check in each other with how we're feeling. What are we going through, both personally and professionally? And that more frequent check-in gave us a discipline to say, we don't need to build up our emotions to the point where we can't work together. We can't be effective together. Instead, we addressed it more quickly. So, how am I feeling right now? I would say that I'm excited and I'm hopeful for you. I'm excited, I'm hopeful that this tool, this simple tool of a feelings wheel that just gives you some words to use, will unlock your team to do incredible work together. Let me know how it goes. Drop a comment below and tell me how your team started using the feelings wheel and if it worked. I'd love to hear from you.